710 ESPN Seattle presents
The Calabro Show warm-up, powered by the law offices of Heidi Hunt.
Welcome to the warm-up. Kevin Calabro, Jim Moore here on 710 ESPN Seattle. Man, I am hurt. I tried to run a little bit today.
Did you?
I'm not a runner, man. I walk, I bike.
I am a runner, but I'm more like a plotter.
Well, that's what I was doing. I was plodding, but good Lord, I'm going to pay for it. So at some point during the show, if I break down and I start doing the Tebow during the show, just keep on going.
All right.
Yeah?
I'll help you out.
I'm sure you do okay without me. I'll be fine. I'll be that voice that you kind of hear off in the distance. What are we doing today? Tarvaris Jackson seems to be back in the news today as they prepare for the Cowboys this past weekend. We touched on it yesterday. If you can't get one of the top, let's say 4 quarterbacks in the draft coming up in April, if you're not in position and those 4 guys have gone by the wayside, do you reach for that 5th quarterback? Do you feel like you have to? Let's say Tarvaris Jackson continues on this slope this way.
Meteoric rise that he's on.
Not meteoric, but slow, steady progress, I guess. How many 300 yards in the last 3?
Well,
2 out of the last 3?
When he came here from Minnesota, who would have thought that he'd have 1 300-yard game, much less 2, right? Because his career best was 250 yards in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something there. Yeah, you're right. We did talk about it yesterday. Carroll talked about it today. The other part of it, though, is he was asked whether Jackson can be the quarterback of the future and all of that. But what's he supposed to say, right? I mean, even if he doesn't think that he is, I mean, what's he going to say? Nah, he's just our bridge quarterback.
Right now, it looks like he's starting to improve. We got an offensive line that can gel. Got a little running game, though. You never know what can happen. Sure, I listened to that today, and I didn't object to what he said. I bought into what Pete was saying today. Oh, geez.
There's a sliver of hope there. There's a sliver of me thinking that maybe could happen.
I hope it does, because that's just one less reach quarterback you have to you grasp for. Although this organization hadn't had a first-round draft choice of a quarterback since what? Meyer, McGuire, who was it? They haven't had one.
Now, I was just sitting here flashing on what Clayton's reaction is going to be about this today.
Well,
hey, John, what do you think about Tarvaris Jackson as being the quarterback of the future?
Here's what I think John will say,
real well.
But here's what I think he will say. Here's what I hope he says. Are you looking to win a championship, or do you just want to be a 500 team that sometimes can get into the playoffs? If you want a 500 team that can maybe nibble at getting into the playoffs, Tarvaris Jackson may be your guy. If you can build that offensive line, get a running game.
Yeah,
but if you're looking to win a championship, that's what you have to ask yourself. Is Tarvaris Jackson championship caliber material? Is he or is he not?
Well, no.
Do we know?
No, I don't. Well, I guess we don't know. We have no idea. We have no idea of knowing, but I don't.
What's your gut tell you?
Well, Pete Carroll's not going to hang on to a guy that thinks you can nibble at the playoffs with this guy. I mean, he's shooting for the whole thing.
All right.
So
Pete Carroll's talking about a championship.
You could go back over all the Super Bowl champions. I mean, most of them have great quarterbacks, but there have been some. Trent Dilfer being one of the ones that sticks out that led the Ravens.
Overpowering defense.
To a championship.
Crazy good defense.
But typically, you need a guy better than Trent Dilfer and Tarvaris Jackson to get there.
And there are various ways to get him. You can either get him through the draft or Kurt Warner. I mean, Kurt Warner was bagging groceries, going through the motions, and got kicked around a little bit, and boom, there he is. And the guy was electric. You get lucky every once in a while. And, luck has something to do with it. All right, we'll talk about that. We'll hash that out today. Plus the Huskies and the Ducks this weekend. Jim says adrenaline can carry the Huskies this weekend. I don't think so. Maybe for a quarter. But, boy, Oregon's got that roundhouse punch. Just loaded up, ready to go. And they'll use it at any time, any place against that Washington defense.
I like the Huskies this weekend. I really think the Huskies are going to get it done.
Putting your mortgage on it?
No, but
okay.
I'd take the 16.
Car payment?
Hey, the Huskies was 16 in this game? I'm all over that. Well, I'm not all over that because I prefer to see Oregon stomp them. But, yeah, I mean, if I'm a Washington fan, I like my team's chances this weekend.
What do you want to bet, Jim?
What? I don't know, $20. You want Oregon?
Deal.
Given 16? Sure, Brady, you're on.
Oh, it's on. Ooh.
Don't let that part of it run, though.
He may drag me into that action.
I mean, God, can you believe that Coug bet on the Huskies? I don't want that. Jesus.
We're on at 3. Join us.